Chiefs Kingdom, listen up. Week 6 is here, and we've got a pivotal matchup. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions. This game is more than wins and losses. It's a measuring stick for whether Kansas City can rise out of these early season stumbles. Injuries, matchups, who steps up, all of it matters. Let's break down what to watch, who's hurt, and how I see this playing out from our side of things. First, the health report. Think things were a little scary yesterday with Xavier Worthy not practicing whatsoever, but as of today, Andy Reid from the podium shared that every single Chiefs player who was able to practice, practiced. So the things that we do know is that Omar Norman Lott is still questionable with that shoulder injury. Christian Fulton is still questionable with that ankle injury. They did practice, however, so those are positives there. Kansas City's already stretched in the secondary along with the D line and at tight end depth because we've got Jake Briningstool is on that injured reserve with that hamstring injury still. So we've got some injuries on our side, but Xavier Worthy, good news, did practice today and one more week until we get Rashee Rice back. So on the Lions side, they're holes. They will be vulnerable, and we have to take advantage of that. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, he did practice, but there is a wrist injury there for him. And then Terrion Arnold is likely out or long-term with that shoulder injury from last week. And then they've got a couple of players. Kirby Joseph is managing a knee injury, and Brian Branch is limited with that ankle injury. Their secondary and O-line have holes. We have to take advantage. We can only play who's available to us, so I don't want to hear that, oh, you're not getting the Detroit Lions' very best. Yeah. So, offense, key angles here with Rashee Rice still suspended one more week. Kansas City's receiving core must carry more of the load. Expect Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, and any healthy depth to get more volume. Just like we saw last week, it got spread around, and that loss kind of took away some of those positives that offense did. So matchup wise, Detroit's cornerback core is also shaky without Arnold and Joseph. Joseph's hampered. We'll see if he plays or not, but that opens up opportunities for deep shots, crossing routes, and isolations for Kelce. I want to see him have a big game. Kind of been missing that. On the line with Decker out, Detroit's edge protection weakens. If Kansas City can bring consistent pressure or overloads, Patrick Mahomes will get more time, but he has to execute quickly and not allow the pass rush to get into his face. Don't sleep on the run game this week, y'all. If Detroit's interior or edge is soft, Pacheco must get downhill early. Establishing the run opens up play action and stress on linebackers, and anytime we have a utilized run game, generally we win. Last week was an anomaly. I didn't like that anomaly, but anyway. Now, Chiefs defense versus the Lions offense. Detroit has to adjust with their skill injuries. Without St. Brown, potentially, someone else steps up. The run game will be interesting. Their offensive identity leans on balance when they can. So if Kansas City's front can disrupt, it blunts their offense. Matchups in the secondary, Kansas City's corners like McDuffie, Fulton if he's healthy, otherwise we'll lean on others, of course. But our corners will be tested. Who will shadow and who will match up in the slot? That's something that we're going to be able to see here. Linebackers have to stay disciplined. We can't overcommit on run fakes. When Detroit leans into motion or shifts, the defense has to stay in sync this week. Pressure and coverage combos will matter in this game. We got to blitz selectively, but can't leave ourselves exposed deep. Now, what do we have to do so that we can get a W? Y'all, we need this W so bad. Being 3-3, it's a lot better than being 2-4. Okay, 2-4 sounds far-fetched. Okay, so we got to get right. Now, we have to limit our self-inflicted wounds like penalties, false starts, DPIs. We gotta limit these penalties. These kill drives and swing momentum for the other side, and we don't want that to happen. We got to win on third downs and in the red zone. We got to convert when we get close and not settle. So like if it's 4th and 2, I want to see us go for it this week and not punt the ball. Now, we got to force turnovers and takeaways. Be it strip, a pick, big defensive play that changes the tone. We have to force turnovers and takeaways in this game. And based off what we saw last week, we need to finish the play. Even when things break down, don't assume anything's over. It's not over until that whistle is blown, until knees are on the ground, ball popping out. We got to finish the play. Now, we also have to utilize the fact that they've got injuries on their side. Yes, we do too, but they've got injuries on their side that we can exploit. So we can press those weak spots like the O-line and the cornerbacks. We can use that to our advantage. Then adaptability. We have to be able to adapt in game. Detroit might scheme very differently for us, and we need to be able to respond and adjust very quickly so that we don't get caught with our tail between our legs. Now, my prediction for this game is that the Chiefs will win. Yes, I know we're favored somehow, but I can see us doing just enough and exploiting the injuries that Detroit is facing to win this game. Kansas City 30, Lions 24. I hope I am not wrong. If I am, y'all can come back and tell me. But who breaks out? I'm going to watch for Kelce and I'm going to watch for Brown this week. But I'm also going to watch Brashard Smith and I'm also going to watch for Tyquan Thornton to continue to do things offensively for us. On the defensive side, Trent McDuffie, I'm going to be watching him. I think that he is just really starting to open up here. But on defense, I'm going to watch him and whoever covers those weak wide receivers. Now, we got to stay focused, play clean, and play super disciplined. That's how we push forward through this game and into the rest of the 2025 season. Yeah? So I want to hear your score predictions. Drop them below for me. Who's your X factor in this game? And as always, go Chiefs.